Most law firms treat intake like a talent. You either hired someone naturally good at it or you didn't, and then they never train it again after the hire. But here's the truth: intake is a skill, and the skill gets better with reps. The firms that actually drill their intake team sign more clients from the exact same leads, and it's honestly the cheapest growth there is. I'm Magdalena Madrigal, hiring specialist here at Legal Staff Now. We've helped over 500 law firms build the team behind their growth. We're an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company, and our work's been featured in Bloomberg Law. My whole world is helping growing firms build the hiring infrastructure that gets the right people into the right seats before the growth even demands it. We staff and oversee virtual intake specialists inside firms every day, so we see firsthand how ongoing training turns them into closers. So let's start with the mindset most firms get wrong. They treat intake like a personality trait. You're either born good at it or you're not. That's the assumption that stops training from ever happening. But intake is a drillable skill, same as any skill: negotiation, closing arguments, depositions. It gets better with reps and feedback, and most importantly, practice. And the people answering your phones right now can be trained into closers. So the first exercise is mock calls. You role play the hard scenarios on purpose: the hostile caller, the price shopper, the scared person who isn't even sure they have a case. So when the real call comes, it's never the first time your team is hearing that objection. They've already been through it. Next, record your actual intake calls and listen back together as a team. Nothing sharpens a team faster than hearing their own voice and marking exactly where it went well and where they lost the person. Score each call against a simple rubric instead of just guessing how it went. Metrics like: did they pick it up fast? Did they make the caller feel safe? Did the caller agree to book? Then you drill those objections until the response comes out automatically, not improvised in the moment. Because when someone's nervous or defensive on the phone, they can't think clearly. They need the words to be there. Then pair your newer people with your strongest closer. They shadow real calls live, and right after, the closer coaches them on what they heard. This works just as well, maybe better, for virtual intake staff you bring on, because they need those exact same reps to get sharp. A little friendly competition, because what gets measured and celebrated is what gets better. People want to know how they're doing and see themselves improve. And speed matters more than what most owners realize, because when you pick up fast and follow up consistently, you sign a far bigger share of the exact same leads, while the slow, inconsistent firms quietly hand those callers to whoever answered first. It really is the difference between signing a caller and losing them. The same leads, a completely different number of clients, purely from speed and consistency. And training is what actually unlocks that, because a team that's drilled on picking up fast, on answering the hard objections, and on making a caller want to show up is the team that converts, not the one improvising every call. Now, better tools and software help here too, but they're not the magic bullet. The real driver is a team that actually knows how to use them well, because the software doesn't close anyone on its own. A trained person using it well does, which brings us right back to your drilling team. So here's the real point. This is about reps and not talent. You're not hiring intake closers from the sky. You're training ordinary, good people into closers by drilling the skill over and over. And this matters just as much for the virtual intake specialists that you bring on. They need the same mocks, same recordings, and the same shadow sessions and coaching. Training doesn't change because someone's remote. And here's where most firms get it wrong. They treat hiring the right intake person as the finish line when it's actually the starting line. The real performance comes from the ongoing training and development. The firms that keep drilling their intake team, the ones that run mock calls, listen back to real calls, coach objections, measure the numbers, those firms outclose every other firm sitting on the same leads. And that's exactly what we do with the staff that we place. We don't just hand you a person and walk away. We make sure that they're trained into closers inside your firm. So when you're looking to bring on an intake specialist, whether in-house or virtual, the question isn't just, is this person naturally good? It's, am I going to develop them into a closer? Because that's where the real growth is. So start this week. Pick one drill: mock calls, or listening back to real calls, or an objection library. Just one. Your intake team gets better every month you keep at it, and your conversion goes up without a new lead source. If you're looking to scale intake without the local salary, book a call with us. We place and develop intake specialists who fit inside your training system and get better every week. Talk soon.